gives me an immense pleasure to welcome Mr. Jean-Philippe Cunit. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jean-Philippe is the founder of Wake Up, created in 2004, an Internet of Things design consultancy firm that helps European companies to develop new IoT products and services for their clients. As a product and service innovation company, Wake Up helps both startups and large corporations to move fast and from the ideation stage until the products reach their shelves. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. JP is right here in India, only for each one of you. So can we all welcome Mr. JP to India? Mr. JP, welcome to India and namaskara.
Namaskara. Dinani mayote electronic rocks. Ali matadanalu bahala santosha actide. But I'll keep doing that. I know you have 22 languages in India, so maybe I'll just do it in English, if you don't mind. So yeah, I worked for Wake Up, set up this company 10 years ago. It's a product design company. And I'm very excited that we've been doing Internet of Things products in Europe and in France for more than 10 years now. I welcome Nabastag. This is a rabbit, a smart rabbit that was designed in France and manufactured and sold in France about 10 years ago. That was one of the first smart objects and connected objects we had in France. So there's already 10 years experience in IoT products in France. So I want to share with you, I've been asked by the organizers to share with you a little bit about what the trends are, what's going on in Europe. Recently at the CES Las Vegas 2004, there were a lot of companies, 4 different French companies that were awarded special awards for IoT product development, such as Netatmo with this thermostat, WeThings with a sleeping analysis product called Aura, and a toothbrush, Colibri, and some others. So if we look at the installed base of Internet of Things products in the world, you can see that you have a lot of products installed in Europe and installed in the US, but the rest of the world is kind of coming to IoT right now. So we have a lot to share in terms of what's been done in Europe so far. For the past 20 plus years, I've been traveling to China, manufacturing a lot of different products, not only electronics, but a lot of different products. So it's been the 1980 to 2020 maybe are the made in China years. I've listened to Modi when I came to India, and I hope that 2020 onwards will really be the made in India years. Thank you. But it really depends on you to make it. I mean, the new generation has the potential to bring India to the world and the world to India. So you have to do this work. I've been very impressed last week as well by the Mars Orbiter mission, so congratulations again. This is the first country to send a probe to Mars, so it's absolutely amazing. So anyway, let's travel to Europe if you want a little bit, so that I can share some experience about what's been done so far in Europe. I'm a French guy, so I'm arrogant like everybody, so I wear silly hats. So in Europe, we're a bit like India. You know, we're 27 different countries that form the group. So in India, you have 22 different languages. So it might be a little bit comparable to Europe in that sense of so many differences. So I run this company. It's been set up 10 years ago. We do Internet of Things product developments. We do product design for global markets. We have European product designers. If you need help to design some IoT products, we can help so that they become successful products globally. And we help with the go-to-market strategy in Europe very much. So, and we come to India to be able here to do outsourcing of all the electronic engineering, hardware, software, apps, prototypes, data analytics, just everything we can. We trust that India is the best place to do that. So that would mean that the ideal, to our point of view, the ideal development of IoT products is product development and marketing, industrial product design and distribution in Europe and in the US, hardware, electronic software, data analytics, machine learning, everything, basically everything clever to be done in India. And hopefully in a few years being able to manufacture in India as well. I've seen the Modi's 25 top priorities for India. It's amazing, and it's very exciting. So I hope it will be very successful. As you will see later, we also have every government in the world is trying to promote made in Europe, made in France, made in USA, made in China, made in India. But so we'll see. We also have in France the government that's very much willing to push these new technologies forward. In France, we have well, it's not 25, it's 34, just because we spread them a little bit more. But a lot of them are related. So we have 34 different priorities, industries that the government wants to focus on and help very much financially. This includes nano electronics, the Internet of Things, robotics, cybersecurity, smart textile, battery autonomy and power, self-driving vehicles, embedded systems, smart hospitals, smart health, healthy eating, smart objects and nutrition, big data, cloud computing, and so much more. So we're all looking in the very same direction. So I want to go back in time now a little bit. We'll travel to the year 1844, if you don't mind, and start with the invention of the telephone. So Graham Bell and others have successfully made this thing, which can be considered as a connected object, if you wish. And then in 1980, we had modern plastic phones. And in 1980 as well, we in France invented the first connected object, which is called the Minitel. It's a box that connects to a network, and we're able to access a lot of information. That was way before the internet was there. And all the French people were using that to look for addresses and so on. That was the first browser machine, a smart machine connected to the internet. And because we managed to figure out that it's possible to connect a Minitel to something else than a phone to a network, then we said if we can connect this box, then we can connect a rabbit as well. So the idea of making a smart rabbit 10 years ago in France was just to be able to understand that we can just connect anything. And that is what's happening now, 10 years later, is we're starting to talk, very good presentations this morning, talking about connecting just everything, going from the Internet of Things to the Internet of everything. And we talked about machine to machine, machine to man, machine to everything. I will talk as well later about machine to animals, animals to animals. The Internet of Species is also one thing going on very much that we talk around the world. So this rabbit, if you go to YouTube, I will save you the video, but if you go to YouTube and search for Nabas tag English, you will find a very good demonstration of this rabbit, which basically helps me, if I want to send a voice message to someone, I just press on the rabbit and it will send a message to another rabbit that my friend owns. If I receive emails or messages, then the ears of the rabbit will move. When it's time to go to work or when I have something on my agenda, it will inform me. If I take my umbrella and put it towards the rabbit will tell me the weather. These are things that we're doing now. And it's all in this rabbit 10 years ago. So I've been to India. I'm staying in India for 5 weeks. I'm really honored to stay in India for 5 weeks. And I've therefore been to the Dasara ceremony in Mysore. A wonderful trip seeing the elephants. I saw the elephants. I didn't see any drone flying over the elephants to film the elephants. That would have been awesome to do that. And I've been in France. We also have elephants, but we don't have so many beautiful real ones. But this is a robotic elephant, which is many meters high. I mean, you actually can see on the picture that you have some people standing on top of the elephant right there. So, and it's really moving. So we're also doing some kind of well, this is low-tech robotics. Okay, it's not very high-tech robotics. But anyway, I just wanted to share this nice picture with you. I'm in front of the elephant, but I'm not the one who's guiding the elephant. Yeah, I'm not saying, come on, Dumbo, follow me. You know, it's just I'm pretending as usual. And I also couldn't resist to add a small drone. Couldn't resist to use Photoshop to add a small drone on it. Talking about the Internet of Species, a lot of biologists around the world are very much working on how animals communicate together. And we already know that working with dolphins, it's possible to send them some light signals or some sound waves that they understand. And when they hear these sounds or these signals, they will just jump or do something. You can train them to react to some signals. So it's basically the human has been trying to communicate with dolphins for a long time. There's a researcher in the US, Diana Reese, who worked with the musician Peter Gabriel and with Vint Cerf. Vint Cerf is the one who created the World Wide Web. And they worked on a water keyboard that the dolphins can push the keys of this keyboard underwater, and it will emit some sounds. And the other dolphins can understand these sounds. So basically, they've given a computer to dolphins to talk with other dolphins. So it's kind of, it's really the internet of just everything you can imagine if it even goes underwater. So we would love to be able to have systems that allow gorillas to speak with a dolphin, to speak with a giraffe, to speak with a human, to speak with a plastic rabbit from 10 years ago. In France, we also developed a lot of robotics. This is a small robot which is mainly used for science research and education. But the goal is really very much to help elderly people as well. To stay at home longer. So research in robotics is going on. Drones as well. We have a French company called Parrot, which is a leader in drones developments. And we have Citizen Science. It's a smart textile company. Basically what they did, we talked about nanotechnology sensors, MEMS and so on. And basically here, it's a company that embeds, India has been manufacturing textile for years. This shirt is the colors of the French flag, but I proudly bought it in India. In the textile yarn, it's possible now to include sensors so that it will monitor my health, any biometric information I want to get from me. It's still a wearable because it's a shirt, but it's an invisible wearable because I have to wear a shirt anyway. I think I have to wear a shirt anyway. We also have this company, Carmat, which is building an electronic artificial art. It's the first artificial art in the world, which helped this man, Mr. Dani, to live 77 days more. His art was done, so he put new heart inside, and he really lived 77 days more with this. So we do quite a lot of technology. I'm not here to brag about the French tech. I'm just willing to share some insight and information. Very much. India is also very famous for UGAD innovation, for very low cost innovation. So I couldn't resist showing you this invention, this technology, this electronic technology that's been put in place and patented worldwide by a friend of mine, Etienne Mineur from Édition Volumique. Etienne figured out that when you have a touch screen and you touch the screen with your finger, and the screen reacts. But if we take a small plastic toy, plastic car, whatever, and a playing card, paper playing card, and you put it on the tablet or the screen of your mobile phone, it just doesn't react at all. The finger works, the plastic, the objects, it doesn't work. So we thought, hey, it would be nice if we were able to put a small car on a tablet and play with the car, and the app would recognize the car and drive along the road, That would be fun if we could do that. Or if we could put an object on a tablet and it would recognize the object and give you contextual information about this object. So he figured out that it's electronic, but it's actually extremely simple. The fact is that when we touch the finger with the screens, electricity from your body goes through your fingers, and the electricity goes into the touch screen, and the screen recognizes the electricity flow. And basically what it did, if you are able to put 3 different dots of metallic ink on the bottom of a playing card, for example, it will recognize a unique position between these 3 points. And then it will know this is the card of Superman. And if you put another one, it's Batman. So basically you can have Batman fighting Superman, or some more interesting and more useful applications of this technology. But the important thing is that this patent is really much an extremely low-cost solution. I would say there's no electronics. There's only just a little piece of metallic ink, which costs just 1 rupee or something. So there's a lot of these of these companies in France. So now the idea here is to share very much how do we make smart objects? How can you make smart objects, IoT products that are useful to be a global product, global successful selling product? It's very simple to connect Bluetooth with whatever, with your smartphone and do a fancy prototype. But how do you sell a product globally? What are the expectations? We've seen that the main markets really much for buying expensive IoT products is Europe and US. So how do you make products for these markets? How do you make smart objects for these products? First of all, we all want these products to be very smart. So as we say, data is the new oil. All these products produce data. We need to figure out, we have products with sensors, we collect data. We need to figure out how to give a service back to the user using the data we collect with these products. So there's a lot of technologies. I mean, there was a great presentation this morning by Nihal from IoT Bangalore Meetup group, and talking about the fact that we all have to work together, not just each one aside. Very much electronic engineers have to talk with software people, have to talk with data scientists and so on, because if you want to make your IoT product smart, you need to have data scientists, you need to have a lot of clever algorithms that will make your product smart, not just a dumb rabbit that knows that I'm home and whatever, some silly stuff. So you want to make very good algorithm, you need to work with data scientists. You need to work with computer vision experts that will be able to analyze what's going on. Basically, to make a product smart, you need this product to understand what the human's intentions are. What do I want to do? So the objects need to observe us by our behavior and figure out who we are, what we do, how we live, and adapt to that. So computer vision is another technology that electronic engineers should talk with to build better and smarter products. Pattern recognition, you can understand exactly what's going on with the product. So if I and also quickly, you might have heard about the progress of Andrew New that used to work for Google that now works for IBM, and that was part of the progress made on the neural networks, to make electronic products more smart. So there's a phenomenal accelerating pace of change. And if you look at the next few years, the computing power in the future in 2015 is supposed to surpass the brain power of a mouse. So a mouse might not be extremely clever, but a computer will be more clever than a mouse. 2023, very soon, the computing power should surpass the brain power of one human. And 2045, it should surpass the brain power equivalent to that of all humans on Earth combined. So basically, you must be prepared that IoT products will become smarter than you are and will become smarter than we all are. So be prepared for that. So future objects will be more clever than humans. So we need to prepare for that. But basically, these technologies, sorry, there's a typo here. These technologies are complex. It's hard to make it easy for the users. Humans, will only use IoT products if the products are very simple to use. A few years ago, when Steve Jobs announced the iPod, he made this keynote in San Francisco at Moscone Center, and he basically announced that he was going to launch 3 different products, a new iPod, a new phone, and a new internet communicating device. And look at this presentation again on YouTube. It's great because actually what he made, he was the first one to actually make a Swiss knife, to make everything into one product. Because we don't want to have a product for an iPod, for music, a product to call, a product to communicate. We all want simplicity. So simplicity, to make it easy to use, it's actually very hard to build. But that's what we need to do. Users don't want to buy 200 different products that they will each pay a few $100s, that will one check if somebody goes through the door, if my bath or my shower or my cooking gas is still on when I go out. You don't want to buy one to brush my teeth. You don't want that. You want simple products that can do a lot of things very simply without the user having to configure anything. Back in 2007, Nokia, that was the Nokia phone range. I've put here together all the phones that Nokia was doing in 2007, and on the right side, that's the Apple phone range. There's a company in, I have this in my pocket here, there's a company in France called Sensor, with a wonderful guy called Raphaël Adjian, who invented a product. He called it the mother. He said, it's not a rabbit, it will be better than your mother. It will actually, it's a box connected to the Wi-Fi, a little bit like this rabbit, and it comes with sensors like this. So these sensors are actually, you call them cookies, and basically I put it in my pocket, I walk, and it will tell me how many walks, how many steps I've done throughout the day. Wow, great. But if I go to sleep and I put it under my pillow, it will tell me how well I sleep. But if I take it, I put it on my toothbrush, I can do a toothbrush competition to brush my teeth very well, compete with my younger son. So there's a lot of things, you know. If I put it on my grandmother's, she always forgets to take her medicine, by the way. But if I put it on the pill box, it will actually know if she took the pill box or not, and if she took the medicine on time. And you know what? This is only one product, one cookie that you stick on whatever you like. If she takes the pill box and she moves it like this, the cookie will know she's tricking it. She didn't take the pill. But if she takes the pill box, she opens it, she takes the medicine, she puts it back, she closes the box, she puts it back, the cookie will know she took the medicine. Or maybe my grandmother is smarter than the cookie and she tricked it anyway. But the idea is that it's only one product that makes all of this possible. So basically it's checking with accelerator and so on, it's checking the vibrations of everything. If I put it on a bottle of water, it will analyze the movements I'm doing with my bottle of water and figure out if I drink enough water throughout the day. My father, Gérard, is 88 years old. And when you're over 75, the body forgets to hydrate. You don't feel you need to drink. So if I put this on the bottle of my dad, who's living in the south of France, I will know exactly when he drinks, if he uses one given bottle or two given bottles to drink water. So this is great. Just very quickly, we worked on this kind of situation about hydration, drinking problems of elderly people. One of the points we had was, how do we alert, how do we notify someone who's 88 that he didn't drink? You have a smartphone. You're young people. You're all used to a ringing tone means there's an incoming phone call. That's a notification for a phone call. A vibration means you might have a text message. A blinking of the screen might mean something else. So we are all used to notifications, and with Google Glass and all these new IoT devices, we will have overload of notifications, but we're used to it. But how do you do with 88 years old? People who never have a smartphone, who don't have a smartphone. And we figured out in this case that to inform them, on the first place, to inform the man himself that he's not drinking enough, we would actually record a voice message that his son would record, and his usual very old plastic phone from the 1980s would ring, and the message would say, "Hello, Dad. This is Jean-Philippe, this is JP, your son. As you know, this is a recorded message. And by the way, you didn't drink enough water. You really should drink more. I love you, Dad. Goodbye." So that's notifications for the 80s and over. That's also something interesting to know. So basically this cookie, I put it on my keys. I always know when my daughter is going back home and when she's going to school. I put it on my door so it protects me from intruders. I put it next to my body so I will know the temperature. There's also a temperature sensor in this. I want to feel better. I know how many steps I will be walking today. I put it under my bed, and I have the sleeping pattern I have. And also, because I'm clever, when I put it on my door, I don't want, a lot of IoT products in the past 5 years have been very much what we call parrots. You have sensors, they sense something, and they inform you. Oh, 8:24, your door is open. Oh, 8:26, your door is closed. Oh, 9:10, your door is open. I have 4 kids, so They open the door a lot when they go to school. You don't want that. You don't want all these notifications. They're useless. You know what's going on in your family. But what you want is you want no notification from the door, no notification. Except this one. 3:22 in the morning, your door is open. You know? So this is unusual. This notification alone has a lot of value because it might be somebody robbing your house. It might be that your daughter is coming back from the disco. It might be that, your older boy is going out with a stewardess who flies during the night and comes back home very late. So, you want to know that. But on the other side, you also need to protect privacy. That's another issue, that you want notifications, but you want to protect privacy. So there was a big story in the US recently that a daughter comes home, and the father arrives and says to his daughter, "Hey, Becky, come on, we have to talk." Becky is 16 years old, by the way. "Becky, we have to talk." "Yeah, Dad, what is it about? What do you want, "Well, Becky, are you expecting a baby?" And the daughter was like, What, Dad? What do you mean? What? And basically what happened is that Becky went to Walmart stores. And at Walmart stores, she bought a pregnancy test. And because she brought pregnancy test, that was on the bill of Walmart. And Walmart is selling the data to Pampers, who makes the baby diapers and stuff, Pampers or somebody else. I don't know if it was Pampers. And Pampers sent an advertising with the name of Becky at the dad's house with coupons to have a reduction for diapers, right? Yeah. Well, I can see you're not Becky, So the point is that we're all saying, wow, this is incredible. We will collect so much data about everything. It will be so useful. All right, but what about these problems of privacy of the data, I mean, the same thing actually, we always complain. You've seen all these photos of celebrations, the Pope in Rome or whatever. And in the past, you had all the people looking at an event. And now you have all the people looking at an event through their phones, yeah? Well, I've seen very old photos in the train. In the train, it's the same. In the train, we all have a smartphone and we look at the smartphone. Nobody's talking to each other. But I've seen very old photos from 20 years ago. Not that old. I'm 45. But 20 years ago. And that was photos of the train. And nobody was talking to each other because they all had a printed newspaper. So whether you go with a printed newspaper or digital is the same. But anyway, we need to be careful with privacy. So Marisa Myers, who's now working for Yahoo and sacked about 2,000 engineers in India 2 days ago, she said when she used to work for Google, she said Google is also like an iPhone. It's a very powerful algorithm, very powerful technology, but it needs to be hidden and very simple. This is the Google homepage. I mean, it's extremely simple, but there's a lot of technology behind that. At the same time, when in 1998, when Google was issuing Google Beta, the first homepage, it was already that simple, whereas Yahoo was a very complex page. So basically, who's the winner between Yahoo and Google? It's the one that made it very simple for the user. The more simple you make it for the user, the better it is. So we need to learn from the past and try to make IoT products extremely easy to use. Easy to install as well. That's Oculus Rift. It's an amazing product, but it's very easy to install. I was just playing the fool with the plugs. I know how to plug this stuff, but some people complain that the products are too difficult to install. IoT products must be easy to wear. We only have 2 wrists, and the companies are proposing hundreds of different devices. Yeah. So we only have 2 wrists. Okay. If somebody has more, let me know. But otherwise, we have a problem. So how do you do? I gave up on the watch. I don't have a watch. So I will have a Motorola 360 watch, and maybe I don't want to have another watch. So how do you do that? That's an issue. A French company found a solution to that, so we'll talk to it in a minute. Notifications, we talked about the notifications for 88 years old people. When you do IoT products, you need notifications. We all have too many notifications. And this is yesterday, October 9. I slept very well, thank you. This is my sleeping cycles, and that was analyzed with my cookie. But it gives me a graph. And actually, that's the same point. Do you understand this graph? Who doesn't understand it? Who understands this graph? This is a sleeping cycle graph. Yeah, just am I in a deep sleep or am I almost awake? Okay, so right. But you know, already in this room, not all the hands went up. So what about people who we're not geeks, we're not people, very well-educated people like you are. We don't all understand graphs. So we don't want to have panels of graphs. We do want the data, sure. Some people like to go into the detail of the data in IoT products, but and because we do very clever engineering of electronics, we want to have very detailed data. But actually, do people want to look at such detailed data? So my girlfriend, Mary, loves to walk. And this morning, I didn't walk a lot. I walked 2,522 steps since this morning. I should actually run about 10,000 a day. Yesterday, my girlfriend walked 22,000 steps in Bangalore. So you imagine that she's very brave. And yeah, she didn't take a taxi, a rickshaw, or whatever, or a bus, or a train. She walked in the streets with the holes and everything. And she came home. I love you, Mary. So, yeah, as you see, we could visit a little bit. So some people want the detail of these graphs, some people don't. So, some people just don't understand, what is this, I don't understand. Oh, I don't want to see all these graphs, give it. So basically, some people are thinking about making it more simple. Basically, what we want, if we have a sport application and activity tracker, we want to have a coach. We want to have somebody who will tell us, hey, this is good or this is bad. You're working enough, you're not walking enough, or you're lazy, or you're whatever. But also, we don't want a graph. We want advice. We want human interaction. Also, some people like me, I'm not making a lot of sport. I'm too fat. If you want me to move, you really need to be telling me, come on, go, JP, you need to be like this. Whereas some other people, you say, you should go walking, So we all want a different kind of coach as well. But the graph is always the same. So some people thought about just, having notifications that would say, hey, congratulations, Jean-Philippe, because I asked to have a nice coach. Okay, I like that. I don't want a graph, I want a nice coach. Your recent efforts to go running regularly helped you stay in shape and lose weight. This week you ran a total of 46 kilometers in 3 hours, 57 minutes, and you lost 1.1 kilo. So we want advice, and if we click, and each word is carefully selected based on the data. You have a lot of vocabulary to say, you are doing great, you're doing good, you're doing bad, you're doing quite well, you're doing better than last week. They have a lot of words. So instead of using figures, we thought, hey, we could use words. But if you click on the links, you can have the graph. You can go to the graph. But first, you get it very simple. Be proud of yourself. Do you want me to send you the stats and graphs? The New York Marathon is in 6 days only. You should win the marathon. You could win the marathon if you keep such training. Should you register for the marathon? Oh, on winter, cold muscles makes your muscles more fragile. I've got great tips for your warm-up. Do you want to see my tips videos? And all that is based on the data you're doing. If you don't walk, it will talk to you differently, advise you differently. You're in Bangalore, you're doing great in Cuban Park. Do you want my suggestions of other parks? The Woodrose Fitness Club in Bangalore has reopened. You will be nearby for an appointment. I've seen in your schedule that you'll be nearby tomorrow. Should you book there? Next week will be very, very rainy due to the monsoon. The roads will be flooded. Would you like to restart indoor tennis? So basically, you want your IoT products to be clever. You don't want them to be clever like this, that you sit on a bench, you didn't ask anything, and the bench says, you're 23% too fat, go walking now, Tanya. And by the way, ask your doctor to check your cholesterol, and the dustbin, because you've just thrown your cookie papers and your McDonald's paper into the dustbin analyzed the food you've just eaten, and says, hey, and stop eating junk food. So you don't want the objects to be that clever. But the big problem is that, 50% of the people who actually pay for IoT products will lose interest in the first 6 months of usage. So 50%, they pay a lot of money for an IoT product, they forget it. So we looked at the reasons why. So because when you build IoT products, you need to know why. So Endeavor Research in the US did a study on more than 6,000 people and noticed that they lose that. And the reason is that the IoT products are supposed to help you and advise and coach you, but they coach you based on the data they collect. But in the first months, there's not enough data to be able to give you good advice. So you feel like you're making an effort to give your data to the machine, but the machine can't give you very good advice in the beginning. That's one of the reasons. Other reasons are that the 6,000 people answered was, product is too easy to break. It's not waterproof. You know, I went to the toilet, it fell in the water. Oh, I'm tired of recharging batteries. You know, if I have to recharge the battery every day, that's a big problem. If I have to recharge through induction, which is coming more and more now, then induction is not very eco-friendly. You know, you lose more than 50% of the power out. So yeah, battery is a problem. Users are tired to recharge the batteries. It's lost. I lost my product because it's too small. You know, my cookies, my stuff. I won't lose my rabbit forever. I will stay with you. But you can lose small sensors, and it's not easy to track them, to know where they are. So I want to be able to lose my IoT product and be able to track where it is. Of course, you have all the guys who buy the device but say, I can't connect this thing, I'm not a tech guy. Many other people think the design is an issue. You know, it works very well. I'm very proud of I'm very happy with the data, but it's so ugly that I will give up. That's in the wearables, you know, when you wear something in your bracelet, it needs to look like something, you know. If it looks like a very techy watch, like the Jawbone, for example, you know, it looks like jewelry. But jewelry is based on fashion. You know, you will be happy to show your friends that you have this fashionable item at your wrist. But after 6 months, you want to show you have changed the fashion. You've changed something. You know, you don't want to always be able to have the same shape here. That's why Motorola or others are doing phones where you can change the colors every day or whatever. But you know, there's a problem that basically you would need to you would like to have the data. Users say basically they would like to have the data. But the product should be invisible and the service should be visible. Basically, they don't want an object, they want a service. So how to make it invisible? It also must be safe. We talked about security a little bit this morning. There's been a lot of experiments of penetration testing by hackers who managed to hack cars and stop the brakes of the cars, which can cause accidents. There was an accident of pacemaker. We talked this morning about Dick Cheney, ex-vice president in the US, who stopped the Wi-Fi connection of his pacemaker, because you can commit crime to that. So security, you know, data privacy, security are other issues which are, and also where do I put it? You know, if once I have wearables all over my body, where do I put them? So basically, the design, the IoT product design is not attractive, too easy to lose, too easy to break, too easy to fall in the water. Too difficult to connect, the battery life is too short, hard to wear, where should I put it? I will lose it eventually. And the perceived value in the first few weeks, little perceived value. So basically, we made this picture for you that basically, yeah, the man shouldn't be invisible actually, it should be the IoT product which is invisible. To be accepted, IoT products must be invisible for the users. And this is what Steve Jobs imagined, and this is an Apple patent that was filed in February 2014. Which is just basically an earphone, you know, to hear your music or your stuff. But basically it has an additional sensor in it that will track your biometric data. So you don't have to wear any additional device except something you already wear, which is this headset. And this is just a patent. They didn't do any product yet, but we're looking at the patents that come out all the time, continuously. And we've seen this. So, you know, this makes the biometric sensors just invisible. You don't need any other additional product to collect that. So yeah, we only have two hands, and that's because we only have two hands, and we want to be fashionable, and we don't want to show too much tech products, and we want, you know, this is a very old-looking watch. This is a very classic watch that just came out 1 month ago. I've had the prototype in my hand. It's very light. It's amazing. And basically, it's a watch, right? So I don't look like a geek having something. But the thing is, it's connected to my smartphone. It's only electronics inside. It's not a natural, traditional watch movement inside. And you see this dial here, which goes from 0 to 100. And basically, you will select on your app, on your smartphone, you will select what you want to track. Like you want to track how many, your goal in terms of walking steps per day. You want to do 10,000 steps today, which is what doctors recommend. So you set your goal per day to be 10,000 steps. And this will track the biometrics of your step, of your sleep, of a lot of things as well, many, many things. But you will attach this dial from 0 to 100 to one goal. So if right now I have made, so far I have made 2,528 steps since this morning, so it should be on about 25, you know. It basically tells me where I am in the goal that I'm setting up for myself. So I will know throughout the day where I stand. And it's actually hidden in a normal looking watch. So I have, I can't keep this watch, it's very traditional. Basically it makes the IoT and the electronics invisible into this product. So objects are present, beautiful, but discrete. Objects must be there, must be near you, must sense the information, but they must not interrupt you all the time. Objects must animate only when it's useful for you, and objects must notify you clearly when it's necessary. Hey, your door is open, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. But otherwise, they need to stand still. We've had the age of manufacturing in the 1960s, we've had the age of distribution, the age of information with internet, and now we have the age of the customer. We need to help the customer and be useful to the customer, otherwise he will not follow through IoT. The objects must understand what the human wants and react in context. If I'm going to the Bangalore train station and I'm arriving at the train station and one of my friends, Anil from Markable Ventures or Mary from Eolan is by chance is just going to arrive near the same place because she has a meeting nearby, I want to be notified because we could meet and have a Indian tea together. But the point is, I don't want to be notified when I arrive at the station because the moment I arrive at the station, I need to go on the train. So it doesn't have much value to inform me that I have lost the opportunity to meet Mary or Anil, you know, because I'm in a rush, I need to take my train. But the notification has a lot of value if the notification arrives 30 minutes before to say, you are going to the train station, we know from your agenda, we know from your GPS. And Anil is going there as well. You will be there about the same time. You have enough time to decide if you want to contact Anil to arrange a drink or not. So basically, context of notifications is very important. You need to figure out, you don't want to notify people based on nothing else but the context. They might be in a rush. If you're in a rush, if you're running, you don't want to be informed of some things. So IoT must not be funware. Quick hint about crowdfunding. A lot of people are doing crowdfunding campaigns for IoT products, and they are very successful over, they get a lot of money and they think it will go on after crowdfunding. Usually we get 20 times less sales after crowdfunding than during crowdfunding, so be careful for that when you do your maths. Interesting trend, Bharti in India is a partner with AXA. AXA is an insurance company based in France. AXA just sponsored this IoT tracker. And it's financing part of the tracker to some of their insurance customers. Basically, an insurance company is saying, if you buy an health activity tracker, it means you will take care of your health, and therefore we will lower the cost you pay for your insurance. So that's an interesting business model. Where to manufacture these products? In the past years, and still now, everything is very much made in China. Everybody wants things to be made in India in the future. I've looked at the figures of USB flash drives used in India. There's still a lot that's of the USB flash drives. You have factories for USB flash drives in India, but you still buy a lot from China. So this needs to move on. But the demand for electronic hardware is projected to increase to 400 million by 2020. So it's very much the reason why I'm here. So let's make in India. Mary from Eolan. Eolan is a French company. They have a factory, very well-equipped factory in Bangalore for many years with 450 employees. So they can make your products in India. I'm not promoting Eolan, but one of the interesting things with Eolan is because they have so many implementations throughout the world, is that if you start making a first IoT product with a small manufacturing quantity in India, when you want to sell globally, it's very easy that Eolan will transfer this to an Eolan factory in France, in Germany, or in the US. That's very simple. This is a photo of the Eolan French factory, for example, making tablets. Every country wants to make local, so this is a cover of Time magazine. They want to use robots to make things in the US as well. So that's... are there any I'm finished in 5 minutes. Are there any electronic students here? Of course, I'm sure there's a lot of students here. Yeah, hello. You are the future. So a few words of advice. Try all kinds of sensors, buy them. I know they're expensive because of taxes in India, but buy them, trade them, exchange them, experiment, put your hands on. Make, test, fail, build things, even if they don't work, just try. Don't watch others, participate, go to hackathon, meet Nahil, meet IoT Bangalore, meet Kavita, meet all of these great meetups, Innovation 101, participate. Don't work alone. Software, manufacturing, marketing, distribution, IoT, UX, UI, apps, big data, you need to talk with all these different disciplines. Learn about the cultural differences. If you happen to work with companies like mine, we like to have deadlines. We give you deadlines to do things, and if you're late, you need to say you're late. You will have reactions if you work with American companies or European companies. If you announce that you're late for outsourcing of some electronic work, the reaction about late announcement of problems for US and European clients because of cultural differences basically would be that you would do your best, of course, to deliver products on time, but if it's not possible, you should really inform clearly about the delays. Tell the reasons are not the main point. Nobody cares why you're late. The result is the priority in the US and European culture, and keeping trust with you that you will always tell the truth if you're late. Keeping the trust is more important than keeping your client calm. You want your client to go mad and be crazy because you're late, but you want to tell him the truth because you want to keep his trust. So this is a very good advice, I think. If you can travel to China, it's very good. They are in advance in terms. They have many years' experience in manufacturing. So visit factories, electronic shows there. These are my details. If you're an IoT product company looking for help to design or export products, you can Skype me anytime on wakeup.india. Your project manager or for IoT product or IoT hardware engineering company, which is what we're looking for here in India, we can talk. And you're a maker, you can follow us on Wake Up India. Thank you very much.